I gotta show you my absolute favorite tomato this year. Super Sweet 100s. Boy, they love to produce. Oh my gosh. And you just can't stop them. They keep growing. They never get cracks on them. They never get disease. They have no bugs. And they grow like crazy. Man, they are sweet. You almost wonder if you're eating a tomato sometimes. They're so sweet. And you can just pull them in your hand and... I mean, they're almost addicting. It's almost like you're eating raspberries. They're just so yummy sweet. And they keep coming. Look at all these green ones I still got. The root is huge, but they don't care. They can handle it. I filled this up with some water yesterday, but it's only drink another 10 inches down. It's amazing how much this plant produces. Gotta use this stuff up because, oh man, they're so good. Now this is the Campari tomato. It's a close runner-up to the super sweets. It's extremely delicious, very prolific, bursting with flavor, a little bit larger than the super sweets called cocktail tomato size, and it grows in 27-gallon totes. We're going to get to using these tomatoes in some recipes here pretty shortly. And believe it or not, these Campari tomatoes were grown from seeds from last year's grocery store tomatoes. So feel free to give that a try, and I have a video above if you want to watch more on how to do that. Okay, don't wander way too far. We're going to put these yummy Indeterminate tomatoes to use. These are the sweet ones, the super sweets and the Camparis, as opposed to the Determinate tomatoes, which are more like the beefsteak tomatoes. These have power. We're going to try to preserve that sweet power into dry tomatoes. Instead of sun drying them, we're going to put them in the toaster oven, do it that way, and compare that to the air fryer method. We're also going to use these incredibly sweet Indeterminate tomatoes to make fermented tomatoes, just like we did the cucumbers and zucchini ferment previously. And last but not least, we're going to use that sweet Indeterminate tomato juice to make a nice, yummy green smoothie. Time to get picking some tomatoes here. They're starting to go crazy on me. I just wanted to try a few cherry tomatoes here and put them in the toaster oven and see if I can kind of get the sun-dried tomatoes really quick. So where do we start, right? There's so many of them. All right, let me just reach in here and just try to pick off the real bright red ones. Guys, let's rinse these down, get all the dust off. Hydroponics are so amazing. There's almost, I never see bugs. I don't know if I'm lucky. One beautiful benefit of hydroponics, you just don't get a lot of soil organisms, bugs, or other pests. Let's pull off these stems and slice them in half and get them on the baking sheets. Nice and clean and de-stemmed and ready to go. Just going to kind of scoop out some of this wet stuff in the seeds in the middle and throw it into this Vitamix so I can make a fruit drink and not throw that good yummy tomato juice out. But that way I won't have such a wet tomato to try to dehydrate in the toaster oven. So these are not just the skins, there's definitely some fleshy meat with it. So I've done a couple of these now here, and what I found is you can almost cut these bigger ones. You can cut it 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and then the middle part, throw it in your fruit drink or eat it. They're so good. The outer ends, kind of put those on the cookie sheet, kind of like this. So kind of like that, right? And then I'll go ahead and scoop this one and this one out and put on the tray. And this one, I could scoop out and put on the tray a little bit, but I think I'll just throw that in my fruit drink. Okay. What I've learned with these cherry tomatoes are I don't really think the spoon method is necessary. What you can do is just slice it in half. Just slice these babies in half, squeeze it a little bit, and put it back. And that kind of enucleates them as well. Much quicker than trying to spoon them out. The squeeze method, make sure that you kind of get your hand down in there with that and squeeze it, because otherwise it's kind of like milking a cow. It'll hit you in the face. So I got the salt on. I sprinkled some salt across the top up here. Now I'm going to put some Italian seasoning on. This stuff has all the good stuff in it: oregano, marjoram, thyme, basil, rosemary, and sage. Okay, we got our spices and our salt sprinkled on top. We've got the wet part kind of removed, and we're going to slide it into the oven. Okay, I got another batch here for the air fryer. I think this one has salt. It also has seasoning on it, some Italian seasoning. I think I'm just going to hit it with some avocado oil. Right, they are ready for the air fryer. We're going to go at 240 and see how that goes for an hour. And then on the oven, we're going to go around 220, and then got our convection button pushed here. Try to spin that higher around. Okay, we just got to the 60-minute mark. This air fryer only goes to 60 minutes. Look at that. Let's grab one of these small ones here. Wow. They feel like potato chips. I don't feel any moisture in them. They're nice and dry. Oh my gosh. Those are yummy. Guys, I don't think these are going to last. Wow. I'm going to turn them over. Oh my gosh. You know what? I'm just going to bring these in. I don't think they'll last more than 4 days. I mean, you know, there's not that many really. I could eat that in one meal. But they're almost like really good raisins that they're just so dry and powerful. I can't explain it. I mean, I would think that that would be incredible in a salad. These are really, really incredible. You just gotta try them. As you see, the oven ones are taking just a bit longer, but they're coming along. I'm just shocked how fast the air fryer ones go. Of course, there is a smaller volume here with the tray, but what a powerful flavor. This is definitely a thumbs up for me. But they are getting there, and they look gorgeous. But you see, they still have a little bit of that juice on top. So I have a feeling that juice is probably perfect because it'll soak down into the tomato and it's yummy. But I'm impatient, so I'm gonna turn this up just a little bit. Not a whole lot, just a little more. Oh, but they're gonna be good too. I don't know if you can beat what was coming out of the air fryer a few minutes ago, but it'll be interesting to do a taste test. Now, this one, we set the timer a little longer, so we still got an hour left. Okay, guys, we're done. Wow, those look gorgeous. Let me try one here. They're a little darker, but that's okay. I did turn it up to 240, remember? Oh my gosh, so good. So good. Oh my gosh. It's chewy. That is so good. I will say this one has a little moisture still. The ones on the outside are much more crispy. So if you want to put your smaller, drier ones in the middle and your wetter ones on the outside, that's probably the way to go here. In terms of comparison with the air fryer, boy, the air fryer was a lot quicker. One problem with the air fryer, the tray was a little smaller. So, yeah, some of these are not done, so I might throw them in the air fryer actually, just to finish them up. They're pretty close. The ones on the outside, like I said, are definitely done. Yum. Are those not the best chips I've ever tasted? I know they look dark, but they sure taste good. Remember, I turned it up to 240. If you don't want to get that darkness, just leave it at 220. I don't think soaking that in a salad would mind one bit if they're dark. Just crumble it up like croutons. Oh my gosh, the flavor is dramatic. Frozen food out here, my avocado, bananas, cucumbers, lettuce, a whole bunch of lettuce in there, dark greens, and a bunch of tomatoes. I'll throw some extra chickpeas in for protein and ground cinnamon on top. It's kind of goofy, but I eat part of it, and then I realize what I've left out. And so, like I said, I want to put some lemon in there. I think that prevents it from getting brown and oxidizing. And also, I want to put some almonds or some walnuts or pecans in there. I really like the nutty flavor. I'm going to eat some of this right now, and then I'll put a couple more ingredients in, and then use the rest for storage in 2 big glass mason jar containers so that I can snack on them over the next couple days. Tomatoes in excess. There's so many things you can do with them. Maybe next video we'll have to do a salsa and a ketchup demonstration, and I'm sure those are going to be very good as well. Oh my gosh. Nothing like homegrown tomatoes. Right off the vine, when they're ripe and red. No pesticides, no bugs. Okay guys, I'm just going to use the same recipe for the brine solution that I used before with the cucumbers and zucchini. It's basically 2 tablespoons of salt mixed in 4 cups of water. And you want to make sure you don't use typical regular salt because it has iodine and also anti-caking agents. 1, 2, and then the water you use should be filtered. Fresh basil and parsley, but I put that at the bottom because I don't want that stuff to float up to the top. Now, I've heard you can poke holes in your tomatoes and things like that, but I'm just going to put them in. I think I got these packed pretty well here. They got some sponginess. I think I'll be able to get a silicone lid insert and then the plastic lids down on top of them after I put the brine solution in. And then for the smaller mason jar, I'm just going to use the green or less ripe tomatoes. And I'm going to put some onion in there. I put a little bit of onion on the side, and I'm just going to use that as a cap, actually. I just use these silicone rings. They're made for yogurt cups, those little glass yogurt cups. But they do fit in here right real nice, so I just put them upside down and a little water on top here. Tiny bit. If you're not salty enough, you can even put a little extra salt up there. And then take one of these lids and push it down on it. That's it. Just do it over the sink so you don't spill it. Every morning, just kind of burp it a little bit. Just find a corner in your kitchen that's kind of hidden and undisturbed. Put them in a container. This was from an old lettuce container that was used. And just kind of, that way when they ferment and they start to bubble over from the CO2, it won't make your countertop extremely sticky and messy. You'll have it all contained in this nice plastic container. Check it in about a couple days, and probably by day 5, you know, maybe even smell it, look at it, maybe even taste a tomato and see if it's to your liking. If it's warm in your kitchen, if it's cooler, you know, that can take up to a couple weeks. I'm going to leave these a little longer because I like them tart, bitter, sour, acidic. I don't like them half done, so I'm going to let these go probably a week. You know, just experiment. Everybody's a little different. I'm going to write the dates on here so I don't forget when I made them.
Okay guys, now it's time to turn our attention back to the Determinate type tomatoes. We've got a lot of those turning red all at the same time, and it's time to put them to use.
Yeah, this is my go-to. Just marvel at these Thing's a beauty. Just another one of those wonderful hydroponic crops. Okay, got the onions going and the meat that's just been added. Okay, it's cooking away. Next is to add some Italian seasoning. And core all your tomatoes. Still got a couple left. And don't forget to add garlic. Pepper flakes. Tomatoes. Ready to go. A little fresh parsley. Here's some mushroom powder. Some chicken broth for extra flavor. Get that parsley in there. We did come across these mushrooms which need to be used up. Okay, let's let it cook down and condense. A little red wine. Okay guys, look at that beautiful piece of artwork. Reduced down with a little bit of simmering. Ready to go for numerous types of yummy dishes.
Okay guys, it's been a great video. I want to leave you with one last idea for lunch or dinner. Here's a mozzarella-basil-tomato snack. I like to start out with some fresh mozzarella, already pre-sliced like this.
Take a beautiful Determinate tomato, grab yourself a smaller one if you can, and then put some balsamic vinegar on top, along with some olive oil. Okay, and then a little basil on top. And voila, you are ready for a beautiful afternoon or evening snack. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it generates some ideas what to make for dinner. Thanks again for watching. Have a great night. Bye.